Hi, how to knack a woman with tiny Toto. You're highly welcome to our channel today. On today's video, we're going to be talking about the best way, the proper way, enjoyable and most interesting way to knack a woman with tight Toto. Yeah, there are women who have tiny, very tiny hole in between their legs. Yes, they exist. Massa, you see the same way some men have very tiny joystick. There are the ones that are even as small as cigarette or green peas. Very, very tiny. Same thing applicable to the female gender. The hole in between their legs, some people have it very, very tiny, like very tiny hole. Yes, and this category of women are mostly the people that have it as natural gift from nature. That is their nature. Okay? And none other category of women who have this tiny toto are those freshers, those ones who are doing it for the first time, or those ones who are beginner, they are freshers in the game. They have not carried too many gula, they have not serviced too many joystick. Yes, there there's every tendency that their hold will still be very, very tight and tiny. Another category of women, yeah, that have tight toto are those ones who are very reserved. Yes, they are not new in the game, but they don't do it always. See, no matter how long you have been doing this and you just give yourself a break, maybe for a period of years or something like that without you doing it, even months, the elastic will start compressing. Like, yeah, it look as if it's closing little by little. It will not be as wide as somebody who is always having dick, like carrying dick inside the hole always. Okay, so I want you to understand the different reasons why people have this tiny hole. Another thing is, another people who will have or might have this tiny toto are those people who work on their toto. Yes, because there are people who actually use a lot of tighteners, a lot of method to tighten their toto. Those people are always business people, like people who do trade, who trade their toto for different joystick, knowing too well that when a toto mouth is actually very wide, it's no longer going to be as sweet as it used to be. They might decide to work on it, use carpenter, use chisel, use a lot of things, insert something insertable, something playable, something rubbable, to actually get that place to be tight. Yes, there are people who use something as little as alum to tighten up their hole. But one thing with this kind of people, even as they are going to put in all those work to work on it, if you be man wey sabi, when you test the natural title to, you can actually tell the difference from those ones who are workable tied to, okay? Because those ones are always weak, not vibrating, not lively, not clippable, but they are just there. The hole is tied. And when you actually try to go multiple round, you find out that the first tutu you actually knack feels so different from the first one, because when once you have dig it and then calm for the first one. Entering the second one, the thing will go back to its normal shape, no magic. Yes, because it has loosened. Those chemical and water stuff holding it together must have gotten weak. Understand? So there are these different people, and okay, there are people who have these types to and there are different reasons why they have it. Now, how are you going to enjoy it? When you won't have this, if you have this type of tutu right there in your bedroom, in your house, as your girlfriend, as your wife, as your playmate, if you have it right there in your bedroom, how are you going to enjoy it? How are you going to make it pleasurable and memorable? Yeah, when you want to write this, the first thing I will encourage you or advise you to consider is making it wet. Yes, it's very tight, carrying something, inserting something like your charger into the charging port might get a little bit difficult for you to do. Just like when you want to knack a virgin, someone who have not done it before, you have to do a lot of work. You will sweat because it's not like going to be easy. Same thing with these people, you know despite that maybe they are not very virgin, it will still be hard, and you need to pay attention and use these tips in order for you to enjoy it, and also for the woman to enjoy it. Because you as a man might enjoy it anyhow you enter, but you don't have to be selfish. You have to consider the other person, your partner you're doing something with, in order for her to also feel what you are feeling, because you both need to orgasm. So one thing you must do is to make sure you use any pattern with your working tools to actually stimulate her body in order for her to get wet before you think of entering or inserting your joystick into her honey pot. Number two thing to consider is consider the entering pattern. The entering pattern you're going to use to dry it on hair is actually going to be an intense one, and you have to work like a pro in order for her to enjoy it, because as long as that place is tight and you are inserting your odogu inside it, see, that place is very very fragile. She might get a cut, she will pass through pains. For you to insert it improperly, if you're not doing it in a proper way, she will end up crying and feeling pain, and that could cause distraction. Another thing you should consider is the knacking style. Don't worry, we are going to lecture you bit by bit on what you're going to do in order for her to enjoy it. But these are the things you have to consider first before you go into the main action. Consider the knacking pattern. See, it's not all knacking pattern, knacking position, knacking style that will suit these freshers or these people who naturally have tight hole, and these other people who are very reserved, who have not done it for a long while. For instance, if you're a diaspora base that you left your wife for a long period of time, that time you come back, you find out that the thing's supposed to be tighter the way it used to be when you left it, because it has taken a long duration without carrying any load. So when, like we said, make sure that place is wet. Try and use all the method starting from foreplay to make sure she is wet. The drain at that place, the okra water inside that place is